Alright, so in this little challenge, you're supposed to try and figure out what's the name of the lab that I used to work at Brown University where I went to college. It's kind of tricky. First of all, one hint I gave you is that my first name is Michael. But I also gave you this other hint that there's a famous guy out there named Michael Caden Craig who's going to come up if you search for Michael Caden. So let's Google my name just to show you. You're going to see a lot of Michael Caden Craig. Who is this guy? I wish he didn't exist because he's taken all my space on Google. He's a Broadway actor, and so he comes up all the time. But it turns out even if I get rid of him by doing the minus Craig like that, right? Now I still get a lot of stuff that's not actually Michael Caden, Mr. Caden. Okay, and there's a lot of different things on here that you can go looking around through, and you might get some results that are interesting. If you go to this one, these are a list of papers that I wrote back in college. This is about dynamic thermal management for multi-core processors and all these things that I used to write. And you can see I wrote all these papers with Sharif Reda. Okay, he's an author as well, and I'll show you another example of this in a second. Let's say, okay, I said it was a lab at Brown, right? So why don't I just search Michael Caden Brown, and even with the Craig thing, I'll keep the minus Craig so we keep Michael Caden Craig out of the way. But now we have Michael K. Brown, which we don't want, and all this. And here's another thing on frequency thing. If I click on this, here again I have a page about Brown University where the authors are Michael Caden and Sharif Reda. And so it seems like I'm always doing these papers and things at Brown with this other guy named Sharif. So maybe if I search his name as well, I can find the answer. Let's see. If we add Sharif Reda, R-E-D-A, to the search, then a good ways down the page, this is a kind of a tricky question, you'll find something that says Scalable Computing Systems Laboratory. And you can see that the Professor Sharif Reda is the principal investigator in the lab. And down a ways, you'll see an alumni of the lab is Michael Caden back in '08. So, yep, that's how you'd find it. Kind of a tricky question. Maybe you got that far. But if you're using some of the tools like the minus, or maybe you did something even smarter, like by saying that since you figured that the website for it would be at Brown, instead of the Reddit thing, maybe you did site:/brown.edu, which is Brown's website, and there, much higher, you would see Scalable Computing Systems Laboratory, the place where I used to work.